the neurons just popping up and around. So glad you're here. Just welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Peninsula. And we welcome everyone here with us this morning, including our viewers on the internet. And that's Susan up there. And she's always up there when we're here. Hopefully she doesn't sneak in when we're not here. It matters not which spiritual path you take, or the tradition you follow, or the communities or culture that you're a part of. You are welcome here. It's our intention that you be inspired by the service. It is our intention that you be inspired by the music, also transformed by the message, and celebrated by the community. You are here by divine appointment. So I extend you an invitation to change your entire life by changing your mind. We teach the science of mind and spirit, which is the study of life and nature, the laws of nature, of thought. The idea that we live in a spiritual universe, but that infinite spirit is in, through, and around us, and that this presence is a loving source of all good. Most importantly, every person here is significant and needed. Our doors are open to all. We could invite the restaurant in here and just fill the room up. Think that would work? So please join with me in claiming our mission statement. And I think... Music one. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes. So... Sargashan, Sebastia, Balatu. Okay, thank you. I was wondering how it was going to come out of my mouth.
Tina did pretty well.
Okay. That was really a great selection. So sweet, all those little faces and voices. Thank you. So is this where we do our little walk around?
No, yeah, we could do that anytime you want.
Okay,
What do you think?
let's do it now, and with that wonderful energy still alive. We're just going to take a couple of minutes and come and introduce yourself to Anna. Anna is somebody I've known for years in Fremont. She mostly goes to Livermore Church, but since she met some of us on Wednesday, she decided to come today. So let's go ahead and take a couple steps. It won't take long.
Oh, yes. No, it might take a while.
You can take the rest of the day. John is like, yeah, if you want. There'll be some that.
Would you like Tina? Would you like Tina?
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Really.
I didn't know she did that kind of work. I mean, yeah. Yeah. You do. Oh, good. Hello. So glad to see you up there.
Next week. I'm here this week, and then I leave Sunday, then come back on Friday.
Oh.
So I'm gonna miss the third class.
Oh.
That's a good book.
Yeah. Very well written. Very interesting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, So you met Anna on screen, but
Yes,
here
I
she is
just
in person.
introduced myself.
Okay, good. Okay. And give you a hug too. Oh, yes. Yeah, we can get this space. You know how much you love us? We live in he has to live in a very good small.
I'd like to get in on something like that. It's great.
And when the last day,
Oh, the last day. Okay. Little sweet reminder to come back together. I know. Okay, John has me distracted now. It's all his fault. Okay, we are going to talk about our mission statement. There it is. Okay, we can all speak together. Our mission is transformation through spiritual practice, education, service, empowerment, and by living inspired lives. Let's say that one more time.
one more time.
Our mission is transformation through spiritual practice, education, service, and empowerment, and by living inspired lives. Yay! Okay, are we already going into the seventh song? Yeah. Okay, we are going to hear from Gary Lynn Floyd singing Love Cover Me. And if, yeah.
Has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. With every thought I make, every last breath I take, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony, play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and let my anthem be. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love cover me. Love cover me. Love, 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 love. Sing that with me. Love, 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 love. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love cover me, light any darkness. Love cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, and guide me to be faithful and strong. Love cover me. Love cover me. Love cover me. Love cover me. Love cover me.
And here is our practitioner, Susan.
You can help me with the affirmation for today. We'll just wait for it to come. Yeah, I'll just read it. That's fine. Take a deep breath. Breathing deeply, I delight in being exactly who I am. Speaking these words into every cell of my body, I know that I was born into this world to be my unique self. I claim that right. I claim the right to be exactly who I am. And I speak my word for everyone hearing my words, or everyone in the world not hearing my words. It is truly okay to be you. You are perfect, whole, and complete in some level. You were born into this world for some purpose. I claim this purpose for you. I claim the purpose for life, for you and for me. And I celebrate this wonderful life that we live together in love, prosperity, gratitude, and filled with the ever-presence of Spirit today and always. And so please, come.
So now we have our one and only Reverend Alan to do the inspirational talk. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. It's a wonderful day, and it's going to get better. As it mentioned in the affirmation, the first word was breathe, and that's part of the title, breathe, but it goes a little further than that. Breathe is Shark Week, and it's a talk about how to outgrow our limits and protect ourselves from unlearning, or how to unlearn stories that keep us from being who we really are. Those are the two things I want to get across. Limits that don't protect us, and unlearning stories that prevent us from being who we really are. And as part of the monthly theme titled Rolling in the Deep, as you may recall, some of you from last week's talk, Reverend Kathy, she talked about river dolphins. Well, this is not about river dolphins today. It's about something that looks like a dolphin, but it's not a dolphin. It's sharks. So we're talking about sharks. It's the Shark Week. So our journey through today's talk begins with a powerful and unexpected encounter and conversation with a creature that's often misunderstood. That's sharks. But these creatures can teach us profound lessons about ourselves. Now here's a conversation from the person who kind of set the theme for the whole month. And it's based on a novel titled The Undrowned, and it's Lessons from Marine Mammals by Alexi Gumbs. She's an unusual individual. She's a marine biologist, she's a poet, and she's a spiritual guide. She puts those together to present her talents. She believes these creatures are our aquatic cousins and offer profound lessons for humans' survival, liberation, and healing. Here's what she says in this conversation. You're welcome. This is what the young reef shark who came up to right beside me on the shore accompanied me on the rest of my walk and said, what are you doing here? I asked in return, everyone knows I'm writing about marine mammals, not sharks. And is this even part of your range? The female shark took a deep breath underwater, came back up and said, first of all, she said, that's no way to treat a valuable shark like me. You know who my cousins are? They're tiger sharks. Them some of the baddest. And she was silent. By now she rolled her eyes. I could tell she was threatened by me. But I wasn't trying to threaten her. I was making the wrong assumptions. Much respect, I said. I said at last. What was that? The surf was loud. You know my ears are embedded. This is a shark talking. Much respect, I repeated. Much respect, shark of live birth who breathes underwater, born whole in yourself, in the color of sand, guardian of the reefs with your beautiful black edges, brave even among sharks. That you know yourself is ever a gift to the sky. That you shared yourself with me is a gift more than I could expect. I am at your service. I am at your debt. What can I offer you? Okay, said the shark. That's more like it. Can you please outgrow those limits that do nothing to protect you? That's the unusual conversation, unexpected by the writer. Now, here we begin. The divine expresses itself in and above all water, in and above all oceans. Sharks are perfectly designed to embody their unique role in the ocean, and they don't question or imitate other sharks. They do their own thing. We too are here to express the divine in our own unique ways. Whatever those ways are, we're here to express them. In the peaceful depths of the ocean, the shark finds its true being regardless of the storms on the surface, regardless of the waves on the surface. Just as the center of our being is submerged, but not lost. But not lost in the infinite, the essential nature of the shark is in its ocean home. Now, it turns out that sharks, like people, are often misunderstood. They're depicted as dangerous sometimes and menacing. Sharks are actually magnificent creatures, and they are a vital part of our interconnected web of life. For example, reef sharks are found around the world, and specifically along coastlines of the Pacific Ocean. Although sharks as a whole inhabit a large range, reef sharks are homebodies, ranging only in a small area around coral reefs. That's what they do. They are considered keystone species, and they're vital for maintaining other species within their ecosystems, as we'll see in a moment. They're agile swimmers, and they're known chameleons with a good ability to camouflage themselves to avoid predators. These are relatively small sharks in terms of the whole family of sharks. Everything hidden in the ocean and in the unconscious is connected. Certainly we are connected to the one. Everything is connected to the one. Reef sharks are a class of what I'd like to call cleaner fish. There's cleaner fish, and I'll explain that in a second. And the cleaner sharks basically protect the coral reefs around the world. And these coral reefs, I couldn't believe it, I had to look that up. They are 5,000 to 10,000 years old. That's how these coral reefs are. Sharks keep them alive. Some of them have been known to be 50,000 years old, much longer than trees here on the earth. Research has found that relationships in the ocean are far more practical and beneficial to both parties. Large sharks, giant moray eels, and sea turtles take advantage of the goodness of these cleaner fish and cleaner sharks. How do they do that? Well, you maybe have seen on nature programs, some of these large eels, they open their mouths wide, and these little shrimps and fish swim in, not to be eaten, but to clean out their gums, to clean off their teeth. Sometimes you see alligators on the shores, their mouths wide open, and birds swoop in, rest on their mouth, and clean out their teeth. They're dentists. They're nature's dentists, undersea. And even turtles come around and get the algae cleaned off their back by these little cleaner fish. Sometimes you see, maybe you've seen in some of these nature movies, sharks are swimming in this little fish swimming alongside of them, sardines especially. And you wonder, why are these fish swimming with the sharks? They're going to be eaten. No, they're not going to eat. The sharks are not going to eat those little fish. Why? Because they know those little fish are going to eat the parasites off the shark. And when the shark is done with his meal, they're going to have a meal. And the shark's going to open his mouth wide, and these little fish are going to swim in and give the shark a dental session. Now, large sharks keep the ocean floor clean. That's really what they do. They're kind of misunderstood. They're like, I don't want to say garbage men, garbage collectors, but they basically eat dead fish. That's what they do. Even the cleaner fish, even the reef sharks, that's what they do. They eat debris off of the ocean floor and off of the reefs in terms of cleaner fish. So they're here to protect the oceans and have a meal along the way. Now, shark behavior can help explain how we relate to the world. Can give us some insights. If we saw ourselves as a keystone individual in our lives, for example, for the health, the balance of our communities and the world, how would we behave if we saw ourselves as keystone individuals? Well, maybe the same, but more likely we would have a bigger consciousness and we want to offer more service to humanity. How do we camouflage or hide ourselves to avoid threats or judgments? Reef shark does it, and we do too. Sometimes if you're in an environment that's dangerous, you take slower breaths, you walk a little bit slower, you step back because you don't want to be seen, something like that. But we all have an ability to camouflage even when we're in the presence of others, if we don't want to be seen. How often do we as humans try to blend in or hide our true selves behind judgments or misunderstandings that people may have of us? We do that when we need to. Pollution degrades the physical structures of the coral reefs, putting that entire habitat in danger. But thanks to the reef shark and its food supply, it helps to keep the coral reefs clean. Just as the ocean pollution threatens the shark's home, social pressures, limiting beliefs wear down our foundational reefs and threaten our ability to thrive. Just those beliefs. It's kind of like dead food on the reefs. What sharks can teach us about human relationships is quite a bit, but not everything. But here's some things. Reef sharks clean and consume the dead and sick animals off the reefs. They locate them by something that's similar to what we would call ESP, but for sharks, it's called electroreception. They can sense when a fish is weak, and that's a meal. They can sense when something is dead on the reef, coral reef, that's a meal. And they can also sense if someone's in a good mood. They'll swim closer. If someone's in a bad mood, they know how to stay away. Researchers have found that out. They recognize individual divers and their moods. They move closer, as I mentioned, and stay back depending on the moods and depending on the person's mood. And they like to have their head stroked, rubbed. They creep up. I saw them looking at this nature program. If you ask about that on YouTube, you'll see some of these things. But they swim up to these divers, and they get a little bit closer, and the diver reaches out to pet them on the head. Then they really get close, and they get a lot of pets on the head, and they love it. I couldn't believe it. Sharks, that's what they do. They like to have their head rubbed. And they know that humans can remove hooks from their mouths, even those who haven't been hooked yet. Somehow there's this consciousness is spread around, and when the shark has a hook in his mouth and they see humans, these sharks, they swim slowly by the human to let them know they're not threatening. And the person takes the hook out of their mouth, and the shark is so happy. Can you stroke my head, so to speak? Reef sharks are masters of camouflage. They're actually called black tip reef sharks. Black tips prevent you from seeing them from above, and the sandy bottom prevents you from seeing them from below. Now, these sharks don't lay eggs like most fish. They deliver whole sharks, a lot of little pups. In their home bodies, they live in communities and hunt in groups and rarely leave the reef habitats. That's their purpose in life, keep the reefs clean. Now, we should all embrace our existence no matter what others think of us, as the sharks do. Holmes gives us some insights on this. Holmes says, we exist so that the divine feeling, the divine fire and imagination and creativity may be expressed through us. It's all the divine coming through us. The Spirit comes to us with new and fresh ideas, and we don't really need to ask what we have done or how others do it. We just need to be ourselves and express life as we find it, and try not to imitate others. And the roots of each life runs deep. All of our lives, the roots run deep into the pure being, which can be seen as symbolic of the ocean. Like on the ocean, you see these waves, but the unconscious is deep beneath. It's kind of like there's sort of an image of consciousness and the unconscious. That's the tip of the iceberg. And so we say we're aware of, consciously we're aware of what's at the tip of the iceberg, but the whole ocean is what's beneath the iceberg. And it's actually a bigger metaphor than iceberg, because the ocean is huge. But all that ocean is basically part of us, in a sense. That's a metaphor. No matter what the conditions may be beneath the surface, there's always peace beneath, even though there's conditions above may be rocky and choppy. Now, when we are submerged but not lost in the infinite. In this book that Holmes wrote, this thing called You, one of his popular books, he says that our being is submerged in the infinite nature of the ocean and earth, but it's not lost in them. He goes on to say, if spirit has seen fit to express itself through a physical universe and to give you a physical body, it would be absurd to think of this body or environment as an illusion unworthy of your attention. You should think of your body and the environment as a thing of joy. And Reverend Michael Beckwith adds to that and says, your body is a bliss machine. Your environment is a bliss machine. We just have to know how to engage with it and get the bliss. But that's what we're born to. We're born into bliss. We just don't recognize it. In short, we can think of the calm beneath the stormy surface of the ocean as a place where sharks find their nature, their true nature. Humans embrace things of joy rather than things to be ignored or transcendent. Now, it's important to surround yourself with truth and love. And that's sort of commonplace. A lot of us know that. Surround yourself as much as possible with truth and love. Look beyond lies about sharks that humans have told to justify their violence and alienation. Now, here's a few of the lies about sharks. There's a whole list, but I'm only going to go through a few. Sharks travel alone. No, they don't travel alone. Sharks are highly social and find safety in numbers. Successful people are self-made, or that you should be self-reliant. We all rely on other people for our success, and we all rely on other people for our failures. So that's sort of a story about sharks. It's also a lie, that you have to be individual, self-made. Third lie is sharks are powerful and effective because they hide. The truth is that you're beautiful just the way you are. Now, there's one more I'll mention that's tied into last week's talk by Reverend Kathy, where she talks about river dolphins. And this is something I didn't know. When I was looking at that, I said, oh, that's pretty interesting. I had to read up on that. Sharks are actually afraid of dolphins. You might wonder, well, sharks are the bad ones. Why would they be afraid of dolphins? Dolphins never are there to harm people. But dolphins swim in groups, and when they see sharks getting too close to them, they form, as a group, they attack the shark. They don't bite them. They just ram them with their snout. And enough of them do it that the sharks stay away. They know these creatures, they look like us, but they're not us. And so they're actually kind of fearful of dolphins. And that's something you would never really suspect in most cases. Now, let me move on, talk about radical self-love and radical love of others. To live a life of radical self-love means to question all the ways we've learned to hide ourselves from others, hide ourselves from the world, not to trust our intuition, not trusting our intuition, or fearing others because of what we've been told about those individuals, as opposed to experiencing them for ourselves. Radical self-love means looking directly at the source of your fears and assessing if you really are in trouble or simply afraid of the unknown. To embrace ourselves fully, we need to let go of stories that society has told us about us. For example, some people have been told this: you're too loud, you're a loudmouth, you're too sensitive, you're too ambitious. You should stop trying to hide those qualities and embrace their value and strength as part of who you are. They think you're too loud, but that doesn't mean you have to think you're too loud or too sensitive or too ambitious. Sharks rely heavily on their sense of instincts, their instincts to navigate the environment, to hunt, to survive, and their behavior symbolizes an important thing about us, and that is to trust your gut feelings. Usually gut feelings are just kind of yes and no feelings, for the most part. They're not so much with the higher energy centers of giving a lot of detail and a lot of images. It's just, this is good, this ain't good, something like that. Now, for example, in social situations when you feel an immediate sense of discomfort, sometimes that happens, or comfort around people you don't know, but you're picking it up through your intuition, you should listen to your intuition rather than trying to analyze, why did this happen? Why are they this way? Just listen to your intuition and take a cue. And that applies to big things, like if there's a new environment you're being pulled toward, or a new city you're being giving intuitive information on. Even rational arguments are easy to make, or easy to try to make, but they aren't fully informed, usually, because they just see part of the truth. Now, I'm getting close to closing, but I'm not there yet, so bear with me. I want to dispel some myths and limiting stories about sharks. Just as sharks are demonized, we can be burdened by lies about sharks that people use to justify their own violence, their own alienation. True shark stories encourage us to question the personal and societal narratives that limit us out of fear sometimes of ourselves and fear of others. Confronting internalized beliefs about what it means to be strong or independent and understand our true strength includes being vulnerable, not just being so-called macho at all. Advocating for marginalized groups, understanding that stories about them are often marginal or often untrue, inaccurate, much like inaccuracies about sharks. While sharks are often depicted as dangerous and menacing, they're magnificent and a vital part of the interconnected web of life. Now, here's a few takeaways from this talk. I'm going to conclude with that, and a quote. Here's some of the takeaways. It's actually 8 of them. I'm not going to count them, but I'm just going to go through them. It's okay to be fully who you are. That's the first one we get from sharks. We shouldn't hide parts of ourselves because others think we're too dangerous. When we realize that our survival need not make us into monsters, we can forgive ourselves for letting go of what could never hurt us. We can all embrace all of our parts and honor them as well. Get curious about yourself and curious about others. Look into places that scare you and dive beneath your preconceived notions to discover the hidden depths of your soul and the souls of other people. Honor people for who they are and the way they find meaning in the world. And perhaps most importantly, try to embrace contradictions because they come up all the time, as opposed to, oh, I can't deal with this, can't deal with that. Embrace these contradictions and oppositions. They're all part of who you are. Now, the quote I'm closing with is from John Donahue, and it's from his book, Walking in Wonder. And here's the quote. An authentic life is a life that's aware of and willing to engage in its own oppositions and honorably inhibits that divide where light and honorably inhabits the divide where light and darkness come together and all beginnings and endings engage. That's my conclusion, and I want to invite you all to take a moment to just go within, put your attention on that wonderful, wonderful quiet place. And let's give thanks to this holy ground upon which we sit and stand. And give thanks to the Holy One that allows us to be here. Dear Father, Mother God, we know that you're everywhere present and that there's only one of us here. How sacred is your nature and comforting is your presence. I accept that each of us is being healed by the will of the One, and whatever prayers we have are being answered. Not in our time necessarily, but in God's time. God's time is a little different, but it's all time. And I'd simply say that whatever is needed is being provided. Whatever is desired is being given. Sometimes the answer to a prayer appears to be no, but that's not necessarily the answer. That's our ego thinking that that's the answer. Because God is good when? All the time. But sometimes it's hard to see that. But in any event, I accept joy, accept peace, I accept goodness for each of us, and I accept that whatever prayers you have, whatever thoughts you have, a conclusion and healing is on the way. And with that, I simply allow these words to rest, and you can join me by saying, and so it is.
Yes, it is.
Amen. Thank you very much.
myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you just the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So till the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring, I'll help it grow by loving everything. Myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. Just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am.
And now we have Susan.
Can we have the giving affirmation? That'd be good. I bless this gift with all my love. As I give, I embody prosperity and abundance, knowing I am fully supported by the universe. This is a symbol of my love and gratitude. It does great work in the world and returns to me easily, effortlessly, and often. There's many ways to give. One way would be to put checks into our basket. Pass that around.
And there are pens in that little envelope.
Take some pens if you need them. We also have a prayer basket. if you want to put a prayer in, that'd be good. Here's a prayer basket. Several ways to give. One way is to donate on the website. The website is up and running. You can also go to your PayPal account, cslpeninsula@gmail.com, or Zelle from the same Gmail, cslpeninsula@gmail.com. I personally use the Zelle. Mail, CSL Peninsula, P.O. Box 3243, Berkeley, California 94703. And thank you for all of your wonderful gifts. Go into blessing. Thank you, wonderful Spirit, in all, through all, being all. We give thanks for all that we have received in life. Thanks for this moment of truth. Thanks for all of the wonderful gifts given today and all days. Thank you also for the blessing of prayer requests. I know that I am blessed today. I know that everyone here is blessed. The prayer requests and the donations are part of the circle of life. As I give, I also receive. We thank you for all of your blessings. Thank you for all of your gifts. Thank you for all of your prayer requests. Knowing that this is the cycle of life, and that God is always and forever giving and forgiving. And knowing this, I release my word into the law, knowing that it is done, and so it is.
Thank you. 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 I promise in this moment to keep my heart wide open. With every breath I take, I'm grateful. I promise in this moment to keep my heart wide open. With every breath I take, I'm grateful. I promise in this moment to keep my heart wide open. With every breath I take, I'm grateful.
Okay.
So we have some things coming up, starting with today. We already got through this day almost. The rest is easy, right? You order what you want to eat and you're happy. So some of the things that are going on is right after this, in a few minutes, we will order the food and we'll have a happy time together, talking and enjoying each other and the rest of the day. We actually are doing a fairly short prayer circle, right, Reverend Allen?
Yeah, shorter than you.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I do have a guest and I don't want to scare her off. So the other thing is that we have something very special that Wendy has taken the lead on. She doesn't like to be a leader, but she's good at it. And we found out during just bringing up names, looking at lists and stuff, that Terry hadn't come for a while. And so we found out that a few months ago, her significant other passed. And she's really having a hard time changing her life totally. And so our lovely Wendy has gone to put some things together that is like beautiful. It's like just a huge dose of love and spirituality. And there's a little job in it for you. Could you go and just, as I talk, lift it up? Would that be all right? Yeah. Yes. So we have quite a few. Yeah. We have quite a few people absent today, so we will have to make sure we get them in the next few weeks. So here's the card. Oh. So even if I go over with this. Oh, you're going to. We're trying to get this on for Susan Rose.
This is just the card, the major card to write on. But then there's individual little to put your own personal message on, and then to stick your little heart in there. As I told her, our hearts are with her. So there's a major card, and then there is a little individual one you can put a message on there for.
And that and the heart go in the little plastic things? Yeah.
Like that. And then I'll send it all together in a package. And then we have a little healing candle for her and a little feather. And I'll send that all together.
So sweet. Thank you for doing that.
She was a huge part of our community.
Yes. And she will be back.
She did a lot.
Thank you, Wendy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Another thing that is going on right now, we started our book study, Aging as a spiritual practice. And mostly everybody here is in that class, except for that table is not. So this is only for the ears of that table. Everybody is enjoying
I'm
this.
not there. Because you've got to stay exactly the way you feel on aging. That's why.
Ah, okay. So it is online, and it's Wednesdays, all the Wednesdays this month. There's 4. We've already had 1 class. We have Jana joining us this coming Wednesday. So it's like Old Home Week. We have, I think, 4 states represented. And so everybody's coming together, and it's a really good book and good conversations. And we have a room for a couple more. I actually bought 3 books as a gift for one of these people on this table. Or if you have somebody that that you know would enjoy it. And because Anna is checking that out, one of her neighbors. So already we have 12 people. And a lot of the work for other classes as they come is already done now, because we've kind of fleshed out the lists and still need a little more work. But it was, and then Reverend Teresa is co-facilitating this study with us. So any questions about that? Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah. You can donate more than $20 if you like.
Oh, that's,
21.
we are asking for a love donation that is going straight to the center. And so we're doing this, Teresa and I, as a gift. And you can't hear me? He's used to blocking me out. Okay, so no other questions?
Is anybody aging?
People are aging, and they're changing it into a spiritual experience that they can pass on to others. Yeah, and it's really fun learning that and practicing it. Okay, thank you. And I think that's it on the announcements. So, Reverend Allen, can I invite you up for the benediction?
Our next in-person is the 27th.
Oh,
27th is the next time we meet in person.
yes, here. Mhm.
Here.
Okay. Good, thank you.
So just go within for a moment as we bring this service to, this part of the service to a close in what's known as the benediction. Once again, there's only one of us here. Although we live in many different places, have different faces, different names, there's only one of us. For the one is magnificent. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sky, sun, and sea. You are inside each of us and all around each of us. I give thanks for this service, thanks for this day, thanks for everything, great and small. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I release these words in love, and so it is. Amen.
So it is. All right. So we have a couple things going on right now. There's little tasks for you to do. One is to order your food, and the other is, and they'll come in here and take the orders. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I have